Do I have to tell that story?
Yes.
What was the story?
Did you know that story?
How you got the painting? I know you got it in an antique store.
It's a great story. I mean, it goes on, you know? Well, it was in 1954. I was looking at Weingarten's furniture auction place. I was told sometimes you could get a easel there, crank easels. So I went in there, I was looking around, and I saw this painting on kind of a column, like, you know. And I looked at this thing. This is in '54. I had studied with Dickinson for 2 months, but that didn't mean anything, you know. So I look at it. I said to myself, "That's a Dickison, or it's somebody I never heard of." So I looked at it closely, you know, and it's high. I see he scratched his name on it. And so the following Saturday was the auction. And I went across the street to Pat Jasloff, who I went to school with. Milton Resnick was there. I said, I'm going to go over there and see if I can get that Dickinson. She said, what do you want that for?
You blew the cover on it too. You told other people.
So I went there and it came up almost immediately. And it was hung upside down, back then upside down. As you know, you couldn't tell what it was.
Right.
And it was so uninteresting, I guess they decided, well, start off at $1. And so I bid $1. Somebody bid $2. And I thought, oh man, somebody knows. For some reason they went to 50 cents, $2.50. I raised my hand. And nobody answered, and I took it for $2.50. And I had it for a while, and the second or third time I tried for a Rome Prize, I decided to get Dickinson and see if I could get Dickinson to write a letter for me. So I went to the league, but I remembered his routine that in the middle of the period, everyone would go down to the cafeteria, get a coffee or something like that. So I waited for him. And he came down, and I got right behind him. He's pushing his tray, and I'm pushing my tray. Mr. Dickinson, you probably don't remember me. I was in the class a while ago. It wasn't really that long ago, long previous. I came in '53. So
yeah,
only
2 years.
A year and a half later.
Right.
You didn't know me at all. So I was in your class. I wanted to try to get a Rome Prize, and I was hoping maybe you would be willing to write a letter for me. He, scowled, and he said, I don't write letters for people whose work I don't know. I said, well, I would be very pleased to come over and show you my work, and I'll bring one of yours along with me. We'll meet on Saturday, he said.
That was the key word, huh? That you had his work.
So I met him on Bond Street over there, Hudson Highway, the overhead highway there, right, the last block, with a little house. And I was there first. I had a load of stuff under my arms. So I had carried it from East 4th Street, which is all the way across Manhattan.
Yeah.
And he came around the corner, he had his little hat on, a little cap, butcher boy kind of cap, and a backpack on. And nobody had a backpack. Nobody had a backpack, but he was like he was on a mountainside or something. And he invited me to go upstairs. He was on the 2nd floor. And he said, okay, he said, I'll look at your work and you look at mine. He said, and he threw me these, like I have, these loose leaf books, with big glossy photographs of his painting. I didn't tell him that I had a folder on him already. I was looking for it actually there. And so I sat down. I was in heaven, to look, see his work. And almost immediately, he said, his voice came out to me. He said, well, you you got your letter. I'm looking for pleasure now.
What does that mean?
He liked what he saw from the start.
Oh, okay.
He said, you got your letter. I'm looking for pleasure from now on. You know, he's going to look at it all, but he was only.
I see. I gotcha. I understand.
So.
Did he say anything more than that?
But then, you know, curiously, he missed this picture. I had stuck this picture in.
Yeah.
And he missed it, but as I was picking up my work, he spotted it. He said, "Oh, that's a good one." He said. So, I mean, that's what I can't say what he actually said.
But he liked it.
He mentioned it, you know. And so I walked back home, paintings. And I suppose he wrote the letter, and I got the fellowship.
Uh-huh.
And then I decided to call him, tell him I had the fellowship, and that I had a problem, what to do with his painting. So I asked him if he would keep it for me while I was gone. I said I may be gone 3 years. He said he'd be happy to. So I walked across Manhattan again with it, and left it with him at his studio. And we had a conversation, and this is a kind of unfortunate part of that. I said, would you be interested in being an artist in residence at the Academy? He said, certainly would. So the minute I got to Rome, I went to the director, and he thought it was a great idea, you know, and it was all in the works, you know, that he was going to come. Actually, he wasn't going to be able to because he had a terrible operation. I got letters from him saying about his operation. But in any case, he never was going to come because they fired the director. So he was only there a half of the time I was there, the director. And he never got a chance to come to the Academy. And I was thinking, I was working on a big street scene and other things, you know, and
right.
It would have been fun to have him around. So let me see, what was the rest of that story? There was something else. Oh, the story was, the best part of the story, I've left out. When I took the picture over to him after I got the award, I said to him, and I thought of this on the way over, I should offer it to him.
Mm.
So I said to him, I know that I don't really have any right to this picture, and I'm offering it to you so that you can have it. However, I want you to know, had I not gotten it, it would have disappeared. He said, the picture is yours.
That was nice of him. Because when you said that you left it with him for 3 years, and I thought, boy, when you came back, you may not.
No, I got it. I actually had the show at the Tanager, and then Graham came down and they took me on. So that was his gallery. So it was with Dickinson there.